A couple of weeks back, I walked into the range with my Sig P226 like it was a badge. I set my mags down slow, like I owned the place. 2 guys a lane over watched me the second I touched the timer. Beep. First string went fine. Second string, I pushed it hard, and the trigger went dead. Not weird. Dead. Click. My thumb fumbled the mag like it forgot its job. I racked it, sent it back out, tried to act like I meant to do that. Beep again. I rushed the draw to prove I was still in control. Click. Nothing. That little half second after the click felt like a year. My head did the math real fast. If this happened when it mattered, I ate it. That was the moment something changed. I stopped calling guns reliable because I like them. I started keeping score. By the end of this list, 1 pistol made me ditch a habit I defended for years. Sometime after New Year, I walked into a shop just to look. No mission, no plan, just killing time and pretending I wasn't. I'd passed on the PSA Dagger line last year. In my head, it lived in that box labeled good enough. Not bad, not special, just a compromise. Then I drifted into the used section, and it didn't make sense. The pricey names were still sitting there like dead inventory. Same tags, same fingerprints on the glass, but the daggers, the hooks, were empty. Not one left. Empty, empty. I asked the guy behind the counter what was going on. He didn't sell me anything. He just shrugged and said, "People come in for something else. Leave with that." That line got under my skin, so I bought a Dagger Macro out of spite and took it to the range. I tried to induce a choke by short stroking it on a rush draw. Half grip, thumb riding high, ugly press, because I wanted that stupid C story. Instead it fired, cycled, and punched a clean hole exactly where it had no business landing. I paused with the gun still up, like, oh. The trigger felt mushy compared to what I liked, and it annoyed me the whole session. And that's the problem. It ran while I complained. So if I still dismissed it, what else was I lying about? One afternoon, I had a bunch of modern 9mm on the counter, and they all felt the same kind of right. Fast, slim, market-friendly, like they were built to win a sales floor. Then somebody handed me a Sig P226. Like it was an afterthought. The P226 felt heavier the second it touched my palm. Less trendy, almost inconvenient by current standards. My first reaction wasn't love, it was, why does this feel like work? And the guy who handed it to me didn't pitch it. He didn't list features. He just said, there's a reason people keep one of these around. That line stuck because it sounded like a warning, not an opinion. Here was the snap point. I racked it, brought it up, and the gun just settled. No floaty feel, no toy-like snap. It sat there like it belonged, and suddenly half the new hotness I just handled felt temporary, like it was designed to be replaced. Carrying it felt like carrying a brick. You paid for that calm with weight. And that messed with me, because if the P226 still felt this solid, what exactly was I buying every time I swore I only picked new? Sometime last winter, I saw a Taurus G2C sitting in the rental case, and my brain did that automatic sneer. Yeah, maybe for the price, but I wouldn't bet on it. Then I started noticing something weird at that range. The people who actually carried them didn't sound defensive anymore. No speeches, no coping. They sounded settled, like they'd already been through the doubt phase and got bored of arguing. That pissed me off a little because it meant I was still judging it off old talk. So I rented the G2C and made it simple. 1 lane, timer on, couple guys close enough to hear everything. And I said it out loud like a dumbass. If this thing chokes once, I'm done. Beep. First string. Clean. I tried to outrun it. Clean. I rushed to reload like I had bricks for fingers. Still clean. I waited for that embarrassing little hiccup so I could feel right. It never came. The trigger felt long and kind of spongy. It didn't feel nice. It felt cheap. And that's what screwed with me, because it ran while I complained. So the regret I expected wasn't about the gun. It was about how easy it was to carry an opinion that wasn't even mine. And the one after that, it looked like the responsible pick, right up until it tried to jump out of my hands and ruin my day. I asked a guy the other day what people were still trusting lately, not what was trending. What stayed on them after the new gun smell wore off. I expected big names. He didn't even blink. Max 9, no pitch, no pride. Like I asked what socks he bought. I pushed him. Why that? He nodded at the case and said he'd seen people buy Loud Choices, just carry them for a month, then come back with that same tired face. The face that said, I don't trust this. I just want to stop thinking about it. Then he hit me with it. He'd seen enough people settle into it and stop looking around, so I asked to handle the Max 9. It felt plain, almost forgettable. I hated that. I stepped into the rental lane anyway, loaded one mag, and tried to run it fast right out of the gate. Second shot popped high, snappy, and for a split second I had that, oh shit, micro flinch, where you start blaming the gun to protect your ego. Then the next few went where they were supposed to as soon as I quit fighting it. I walked back to the counter, irritated because I knew what he meant. Stop looking around didn't sound like hype. It sounded like giving up on being impressed, and I wasn't sure I was ready for that. A few months back, I almost ignored the Canik TP9 SF because it looked like the safe pick for people who hated fun. It sat there quiet, like it already accepted, nobody bragged about it. Then somebody handed me the Canik like it was a tool, not a toy. He didn't pitch it, he didn't praise it, he just said, well, run this for a bit. So I did. And I set myself up to prove him wrong. I loaded a mag, got on the line, and tried to shoot it fast while talking, running my mouth, half paying attention. I slapped the trigger harder than I should have, and the gun barked back with a shot that landed just off where I wanted. And right there, that ugly second happened. My brain went to excuses. Then I felt a reset. Clean. Predictable. Like it was waiting on me to stop being stupid. I slowed down one notch, pressed it right, and the next hits stacked like I'd been lying about what reliable felt like. That was the snap. It didn't wow me. It corrected me. Real flaw? That trigger reset was so short, it punished lazy fingers. Yeah, if I got sloppy, it tried to run ahead of me, and that's what stuck. The TP9 SF didn't slip even once, but it showed me how often I did. The Walther PDP Compact pissed me off in the first 5 seconds. I picked it up, and it felt like it wanted to be good. Not cute good, not for the price good, like it was going to reset my standards, whether I liked it or not. I tried to brush it off. I told myself, well, calm down, it's just another compact. So I ran a quick mag and got sloppy on purpose, lazy grip, rushed press, just to see if it would get weird. Second shot snapped up harder than I expected. The front sight jumped, and for a split second, my support hand slid. And I had that ugly little panic flinch where your brain goes, oh, so this is the moment it falls apart. It didn't. I tightened up, pressed clean, and the next hits stacked like the gun was waiting for me to stop acting stupid. That's the physical moment that changed it, because right after that, I picked up the previous solid gun again, and my hands hated it. I started re-gripping, rechecking, adjusting like I'd never held a pistol before. Nothing was wrong with the other gun. My baseline moved. The PDP got snappy the second I coasted. It punished lazy. And the one after this, it looked like the safest, most practical choice on the list, until it made practical feel like a damn trap. Last year in Arizona, I was on the road most of the day. Dry heat, long drives, in and out of stops, that weird tired feeling that crept in by late afternoon. The kind where your brain started running on autopilot, and you didn't notice until it already happened. This is where the Hellcat Pro wasn't the exciting part of that trip. That was the point. It rode with me through gas stations, food stops, getting in and out of the car a dozen times, seatbelt tugging at everything, sweat and dust, all that constant shifting around. And the whole time, it stayed out of my way. No drama, no adjust, check, fix routine, no mental noise. Near the end of the drive, I realized I hadn't checked it in my head for hours. Not the little reassurance touch, not the silent inventory, still there. Still good, still sitting right. Nothing. That hit harder than any range day because it wasn't hype, it was commitment. My confidence went automatic, and that's when it turned sharp in a good way, because once you stop checking, you start trusting. If I stopped checking the gun, what else did I stop checking? After all 7, I kept one rule. Reliability looked boring, no drama, no personality, just a gun that kept working while I got sloppy. And I'll say the quiet part. One of these made me feel stupid, not at the range. Later, in the mirror, because it proved I carried something for years, mostly out of comfort. And I called that trust. The Hellcat Pro didn't win because it felt magical. It won because it didn't care about my mood. It ran while I tried to poke holes in it, and that pissed me off. So pick your favorite, love it, whatever. Just don't confuse "I'm used to it" with "it showed up." I'm Steve. If that line made you mad, good. Go test it.